doing? How's everyone doing?
Renaldo, when you go back and look at the film from Sunday evening, what did you see there?
Yeah, I thought guys played hard, but I thought the execution, the way we wanted it to run, it wasn't up to our standards. You felt the energy a lot differently today when we come back here on practice from the defensive side. I thought they played a lot more together. And it showed. So we got to get those scrimmage performance, those preseason performance, looking like how we practice out here today. So I'm looking for that improvement Saturday.
What is, just generally speaking, your expectation for this defense going into this season?
Yeah, the biggest thing, I think just leading up for what Coach Staley talked about is becoming a complete defense, and that's at all three levels. We definitely want to be a team that stops the run, and we want to be a team in the back end that take the ball away. But we know it starts up front with the run game, and when we talk about being a complete game, it's going to take all three levels. We all have to be connected, and that's why these practices are so important, so we can get the guys out here and communicating and filling each other out, because there are a lot of new pieces on this defense, and we know it's going to take some time, and this practice is what we need right now.
How was calling the plays today?
It felt good. I usually do 2 minutes and 2 minutes throughout the parts of training camp, so it was pretty smooth. Just trying to be loud and communicate with the guys and give them the details that they need to go out there and play at a high level. So it feels like a norm. I don't feel like it's anything different. It's kind of like what we go through. Throughout. Like I said, I usually pick a period or two out where I'm usually calling it, so it was easy.
And then who's been the green dot over these last few practices? Kyle's out, Drew's out, Derwin's out. You're on like your fourth string signal caller.
Well, we have all the backers up with green dots right now in practice, so they all get a feel for it. We're trying to get the young guys to calm their tone down because the offense can pick up on a few things. So, but they're doing great. They're doing a great job whenever they got to do to be the signal callers, and they're making sure everybody got the information, getting everybody back in the huddle. So those are the things we're emphasizing. But I'm happy with how the young guys have been controlling it out there.
Was Troy doing it as well? So
we had Troy, Cole, Damon, and Maddox. So they all had the dot at some point today. So felt good about how those guys were operating out there.
Renaldo, with all these new pieces, I imagine most of these guys won't play in the preseason. Is that a concern at all? Just you're going to go into week one, and that the first time they're all together in a real game is going to be a real game.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mentioned. These practices are so important. The times we can get live action and playing pads and get everybody out there together, those moments are important, and we need those. So when those days come up, we got to have everybody ready. But at the same time, it is allowing these young guys to get experience, and a lot of times that's how the season go. You expecting to have all your guys up and ready to roll, and then NFL, something happens. So it's important that we all jump into this thing and making sure we locked in, because at some point you don't know who could be out there for you, and it's important that we get these good quality reps for everyone out there.
Where have you seen development from Jesse Taylor over camp? Obviously, came with the interception at 18 minutes.
Yeah, he's a savvy guy. He's one of those guys if he made one mistake that day, he won't make the same mistake. You see a lot of growth in him just sitting right next to Bryce Callahan, just picking his brain, every day in meetings, and his growth potential is really high right now, and we expect some good things about him. Once those lights come on, really want to see him perform at a high level, because he has a lot. He has the mental and the physical to get it done. But I'm happy with how he's been performing.
And just with JT, obviously we talked about him last time, throwing a bunch at him. Over these last couple practices since we last talked to you, have you seen him maybe be in position more, moving a little bit more quickly?
Yeah, he has. The biggest thing, you playing that spread, the Big 12, and a lot of the run game is is there, but they're not asking them to stick their face in it right now, and we're asking them to read keys and see his key and be able to react. And he's coming along. I mean, these last couple of days, he's really progressed. He's ran some with the ones, and we're just mixing them in there. We're trying to see if we can speed that development up, just like we were talking about last time we were out here. But we know it's going to be steps. He's working with Tommy Donatel on just fitting up blocks, using his length. All those things matter just to help him speed this process along.
Did you you guys, when you drafted him, did you guys feel like that was going to be, part of his development, was just coaching him up in the run game, considering, what the Big 12 is? I'll say, you don't have to say it, but the Big 12 obviously doesn't.
They do play football over there, but we know it's spread and we know they're chucking the ball around. I mean, it is a good conference.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's never really had a full off season to, develop. He would go from football into track, so he missed some of that development that you would get over there, whether that's in the weight room with the other guys or doing the off season program. Now he's a football player. He's a national football player, and he gets off seasons now, but he gets this time, even in downtime, no class. He can go over there and get some more work in, and that's what we're hoping. We're gonna keep pulling him close and seeing what he can bring to the table, because when you look at his college film, he can get the football. And he can run. He has range, and we want that to be the highlight for him. And we'll continue to develop the things as we go.
What did you see from the interior of the defensive line specifically on Sunday?
Yeah, the run game. The run game, I didn't feel like was a big problem on the scrimmage. Those guys are doing what we're asking them to do, is to play square and get off blocks and separate and make plays. And I saw that at the times where we ran the football. So they're doing the things that we asked up front, and we just got to keep bringing the younger guys on, like Tito, keep getting him some reps and some live reps with the one, so he can see what good looks like and feels like. But I'm happy where the D line's at, and we're just going to continue to progress and hopefully get better here.
With the competition there, have you started to see separation?
It's still not a lot of separation. Those guys are playing hard. I think they know it's competition, and they're laying it all out there. Not a lot of days off for those guys up front. So they've been pretty much available all practice, and we got some good competition with Foxy and Tillery and Covington, and I mean it's going to be a dog fight to the end, and that's the way we want it.
We've talked a lot about Khalil will bring as a pass rusher, but as a run defender, having a guy like him on the edge who can make splash plays like he does against the run, and then even just on a down basis, what does that do for the rest of the run front, having an edge player like that who can play the run now?
Yeah, we feel good about both our edges. I mean, when you see Khalil, he does such a good job in his pass rush of going from power and converting it to his pass move. So he's starting there. So when we talk about run stopping, he does a great job of using power and setting edges. So that's not a concern for me. He's done that his whole career, and he'll continue to do it. He's shown it when he's been live out here. So I like where he's at. I know he wants better, and that's always a good thing when he wants better, when I'm already seeing good. So, but we're happy with his development, and we're just gonna keep this thing moving. He has a comfort level from being in this scheme before, so it's not taxing in there as far as the mental. So it's just allowing him to play fast when he is out there.
Good. Thanks, Coach.
All right. Thank you, guys. You have a good one.
How's it going, DeAndre?
So how you doing?
Just obviously, when you were signed, a lot of talk about what you bring to the return game and special teams. But how do you feel like you fit into this offense? You've made a ton of plays in the red zone, touchdowns, even in the scrimmage on Sunday. Just how do you feel like you fit into the offense?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the majority of my career I've been a returner. But as people can see, I could play receiver too. That's how I came into the league. And I love our offense, man. We got a lot of freedom. Just trying to get on the same page with Justin and the quarterbacks. So it's been good, just putting in the work.
One thing Justin talked about when we asked him about you was just that you're really friendly to quarterbacks.
Yeah.
He's talking specifically on in routes, that you might bend them a little bit just to gain leverage on defenders.
Yeah.
Where does that come from for you, like the friendliness towards quarterbacks?
It's really just receiver fundamentals, like receiver one-on-one. You always, like in breaking routes or out routes, you kind of want to shave a little at the top so the DB can't undercut you. It's kind of just basic wide receiver fundamentals, and obviously I've been in the league for a while, so it's something I've been working on for a while. But you always want to protect the throw.
Really, in your relationship with Justin, but personality-wise, what have you come to know about him?
Cool guy, real chill guy. from Oregon. They, kind of chill up there, I would say. Real similar to Cali vibe, I would say. So he's been real chill, real good guy in the locker room, great leader.
And football-wise, what are you seeing from him?
You guys see it every day, man. He's that guy. Puts the ball on the money, throws dimes day in and day out. It's not a throw on the field that he can't make. I'm excited to be able to work with him and see, how far we can go this year.
Does that make it easier for a receiver, especially coming in new like that?
Yeah, definitely. It's always like when you go to a new team, there's always like a period where you're trying to get used to the quarterback, they're throwing motion and stuff like that. But Justin, if it's hitting you in the chest every time, ain't too much to get used to. Just catch the ball when it comes, so it definitely make it easier. Yeah.
So fastballs, though.
Oh yeah, he throw that thing in there, probably about 102 if he played baseball for sure. Yeah.
What's it like coming to a place where there is some quarterback stability now? Because other places you've been, it seems like every 5-6 weeks something's happening.
Yeah, it gives the offense a chance to gel and build that cohesiveness. We know who's going to be the trigger man week in and week out. We know what he likes, how he likes to throw, how he likes us to run our routes. So it just helps us build our camaraderie, and it allows us to add more stuff to the offense week in and week out because who's going to be back there playing quarterback.
Do you think that your history of working with so many different quarterbacks has kind of been a factor in helping you get up to speed rather quickly here?
Yeah, definitely. Not even just the quarterbacks, but just being in so many different offensive systems. Everybody kind of runs similar concepts and just call it something different. So for me, it's easy for me to come in and associate. Okay, this play was called this in this offense, and it's this offense here. So it's easy for me to pick up offenses, and then quarterback wise, just being able to adjust and be able to adjust on the fly. So
what's it been like joining this wide receiver with Keenan and Mike and those guys?
It's been great. I actually been working out with Keenan for 4 years now. We got the same receiver coach in the off season, but being able to get out here and see him work day in and day out, it's incredible, man. He's the best route runner in the league, in my opinion. Every year since I've been in the league, I pull up his target tape at the end of the year and just watch him work. So it's been amazing for me to be able to get out here and watch him, day in and day out. And then Mike Dub, big body, throw the ball up. There's no ball he won't be able to get to, man. We got a special group. I'm excited to see, what we do this year.
With Keenan's route running, you talk to guys just about watching Keenan. They're like, he does stuff that, a lot of guys just can't do, just his body movements.
Yeah.
And the way he, Bryce Callahan called it voodoo on his routes. Yeah. For you, can you model your game after him at all, in terms of his route running, or is there just some things that Keenan's going to be Keenan?
I ain't gonna lie. I've been stealing Keenan moves for some years now.
Yeah.
Trying to anyway. But it's some stuff that, you just can't do. Just the way his body control, the way he moves. I've seen guys go out there and try to implement it. It don't necessarily look the same. But yeah, he's different for sure. And anything that I can learn from him, take from him, I'm definitely trying to do.
What's it been like working with Coach Fick and the other returners?
It's been great. Coach Fick had a lot of success last year in Minnesota. One of the main reasons why I decided to come here. I was excited to be able to work for him. And we got a great return room. Joe Reed back there, Mike Bandy back there. We got a great unit. A lot of return units. The returner gets a lot of the credit. But it's really if you got to have 10 other guys that block, that are willing to put their body on the line to set up the return to give us the holes to hit. So the success of our return unit, while I do play a factor in it, is going to be largely on the other 10 guys on the field.
Did you get a sense last year, second half of the year, with this return unit, did it kind of found its stride in discipline? Because they did break. It seemed like there were a lot of returns that broke consistently.
Yeah. Dre Roberts, one of the best returnmen in the history of the league. And when he got here, I think that's when the return games kind of started to take a turn and go in a positive direction. Big credit to Dre, but like I said, also big credit to the other 10 guys. You gotta buy in, especially on kick return. You gotta buy into the scheme. You gotta buy into the return, and then you gotta be willing to put your body on the line. I appreciate those guys. They back there trying to protect me, trying to keep me safe. So without those guys, there is no return game. So
on a day when your head coach isn't able to make it to practice, how important is it for you guys as the players to make sure that things keep moving forward?
It's very important. I think we got a lot of veteran leadership on our team that we can handle situations like this, with Coach not being here and us being able to go out there and still execute and keep practice the way it's going. That's a big testament to the coaching staff and as well as the veteran leadership on our team.
Anything else? Thanks, DeAndre.
Yep.
I've been learning a lot, which is pretty much what I wanted to do. Just be consistent.
How much more comfortable are you in the scheme this year versus last year in terms of where you should be on certain routes, some of the specifics of the scheme?
Mm-hmm. It's slowing down a lot. We're learning it the first time. You're trying to learn every position, but now it's kind of like I know what everyone is kind of doing. Now it's just little things like alignments or exact spots on the field I'm supposed to end up. But for the most part, I pretty much know what everyone has, which is like one less thing to worry about.
Do you set off-season goals for what you want going into the season, or some people aren't goals guys, some aren't. If you are, what are your goals for this season?
I haven't got that far yet. The only goal right now is to just make the team and just make plays in practice. Once the season comes, then I'll figure it out. But only thing I'm focused on right now is camp.
And you've been getting some work at gunner on special teams. Just how's that been going for you? That sort of role.
Just doing what I have to do to help the team. That's pretty much it.
Is it just one follow up on that? Wide receiver, there is some parallels there with gunners in terms of being press.
Yeah.
Is there some carryover there from position to position?
Yeah, it's like a go route, except I don't have to worry about really getting open. I just have to run straight as fast as I can.
And then hit somebody instead of catching it, right?
Yeah.
What's the biggest area that you worked on during the off season?
What's the what, sorry?
Biggest area or part of your game you worked on during off season or maybe the past month?
Yeah, just releases and just top of the route. It was my main emphasis.
When you look back to last season, how much better do you feel going into this year? And when you just look back to last year,
I feel like I've learned a lot more just in the position as itself, as the receiver position. Within the offense, like I answered this question, it's slowing down just because I know where players have to be. Now it's just little things of just where you have to end up. But from last year, it's pretty much just learning more about the receiver position, just hanging out with Keenan a lot.
You caught a lot of passes from Justin after training camp practices last year. You kind of feel like that's paying off during camp this year and off-season workouts with that familiarity?
Yeah, for sure. It's just getting used to how he's throwing the ball and how I'm running my routes, when I'm stopping and when I should expect the ball from him.
Did you spend any time with Keenan in off-season?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I did. We both trained, in our respective places, but yeah, I did.
And then were there guys that you watched on tape this off-season, like anybody that you similar body type or similar play style that you were watching this off-season, or was it more just like going over your tape from last year?
Both. I was going over my tape from last year, watching Keenan a lot. I watch his tape almost every day. This off-season was pretty much just reviewing on what I did last season and seeing how much better I've gotten.
Is it you watch Keenan's tape every day,
Yeah.
even through training camp?
Yeah.
I watch his practice tape or stuff?
Yeah, I showed him his own film this morning.
Is there anyone else besides Keenan whose film you watch?
I watch Julio Jones. I watch Julio Jones a lot in college. Just how he comes off the ball, how fast he runs, how he can come to a complete stop. AB, just because he's probably one of the best over-the-shoulder catchers, in the league. So I pretty much watch different guys for different things, different areas. But I watch Keenan a lot in person and in tape, and then just try it on the field.
What about Keenan's tape are you looking for?
I'm looking for how he gets off the ball, how he releases, his top of the route, his in between the route. It's pretty much unmatchable. So if I can get as close as possible, then I'll be good. Just add it to my game and what I have.
What did you show him today? Like a play from practice? Or?
And I showed him play from 2018.
You're like, this is cool, or like you were asking him a question about it? Or
I was asking him a question about it, but then I was pretty much just looking at certain releases, asking what he was thinking on them.
DeAndre, just telling us he watched Keenan's tape. You watch his tape. What is Keenan's reaction when everyone's bringing the tape all the time of himself?
I don't know. I mean, he's open to the conversation, you know, especially for me. He's probably tired of me by now, but you know, I'll bring up something and then I'll be like, oh, I can show you, and then I show you his own stuff. So, or I'll do something, and then I'll tell him who I got it from, and I'll just show him his own tape.
Now, is this just something where someone on the staff puts together all these reels of Keenan for you guys, or where do you get all this stuff from?
Oh, someone from the staff. I just ask him for cut-ups.
Yeah.
how far back have you gone?
Sorry?
Is it on your phone?
No, it's on the iPad. It's on the iPad. I just record it whenever I'm not. That's why I have something to look at.
When you know you're going to go to Keenan, you put it on the phone.
Yeah. Or just whenever.
Yeah. And then how far back have you gone watching Keenan's tape? Like, have you gone back to like 2014 or far back?
What was his rookie year? 13?
13.
Got that last night. Yeah.
The whole career, 10 years. That's awesome.
That's good. Thank you.
All right, guys.
Appreciate it, Josh.
Thanks, Josh.